Title: The Last Flight of Mothman. The small town of Beaconridge, nestled between dense, foreboding forests and a vast river, thrived on a mix of folklore and fear. Every autumn, as the leaves turned to an eerie crimson, stories of the Mothman flooded the town. Children shared hushed whispers about a shadowy figure with massive wings and glowing red eyes that roamed the woods by the river. While many dismissed it as mere legend, a lingering chill in the air suggested that some stories had roots in truth. After days of relentless rain, Eliza, a curious and adventurous 16-year-old, decided to explore the woods. She had often brushed off the warnings from her friends and family, who claimed it was dangerous to wander too far after dark. But tales of the Mothman enchanted her. She felt a connection to the creature, an outsider, like herself. One ominous afternoon, thick clouds blotted out the sun, shrouding the woods in twilight. Eliza grabbed her friend, Tom, urging him to tag along. "What if we actually see the Mothman?" she said, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Tom hesitated but eventually agreed, his bravery wavering under Eliza's excitement. As they ventured into the forest, the air seemed to grow heavier, thicker, weighed down by the stories of the past. Eliza felt the prickling sensation of being watched. Branches snapped behind them, but every time she turned around, nothing was there. Shadows danced around them as the sunlight receded behind the trees. "Do you think Mothman is real?" Tom asked nervously, his voice quivering slightly. "Well, something has to be," Eliza replied with a mock-serious demeanor. But deep down, she hoped they would encounter the creature that had become a symbol of mystery and terror in their town. As twilight descended, they found themselves near the banks of the river, where the water glimmered like a mirror reflecting the alarming hues of the dusk sky. Suddenly, a low whirring noise pierced the air, vibrating through their bones. Both friends froze, their hearts thundering like the wings of a bird in flight. From the depths of the woods emerged a towering figure, its massive wings spread wide against the backdrop of the dusky sky. Eliza's breath hitched as the creature glided gracefully, its red eyes glowing like smoldering embers. Eliza was entranced, stepping forward, nearly entranced by its ethereal beauty and wild majesty. Tom shouted, "Eliza, come back. It's not safe." But his voice was drowned out by the rustling leaves and the thudding of her own heart. As she stared, captivated, the creature landed gracefully before her, its wings folding. Mothman stood over her like a guardian from another world. Its gaze pierced through the twilight air, the intense crimson of its eyes seeming to radiate a sense of foreboding. In that moment, Eliza understood. Mothman was not just a symbol of fear, it was a harbinger. Within its presence lay both beauty and calamity, an omen of events yet to unfold. "What do you want?" Eliza dared to ask, feeling an inexplicable connection as if the creature could hear her thoughts. For a moment, the air felt electric, charged with something profound. The creature stepped closer, and without warning, a sudden gust of wind tossed Eliza's hair. The sky darkened even more, thunder rumbling ominously in the distance. Tom, sensing danger, pulled Eliza back. "We need to go, now." But as they turned to flee, the Mothman let out a piercing scream that echoed through the woods, reverberating like a banshee's wail. The sound was a warning, a cry etched with despair. In that instant, Eliza realized, something terrible was coming. The world around them began to shake, branches snapping and dirt flying as darkness enveloped the sky. A flash of streaking light illuminated the trees, and then came the deafening boom, a ripple of energy that knocked them both to the ground. In the chaos, Eliza's vision blurred, and as she looked up, the Mothman had vanished. When the dust settled, the woods were eerily quiet. Tom helped Eliza up, eyes wide with disbelief. Did that really just happen? As they hurried back, a thunderstorm unleashed its fury. But that night, far worse than the storm awaited Beaconridge. News reports filled the airwaves the next day. A bridge had collapsed, claiming several lives. The townsfolk were in shock, and whispers spread about the premonition that had manifested on the eve of the tragedy. Mothman had come as a warning. Year after year, as the autumn chill returned, Eliza would remember that night. She felt the weight of knowing the truth behind the tales, a connection that would haunt her forever. Though the Mothman became a distant legend, Eliza understood the balance between beauty and horror that the creature embodied, the burden of a harbinger who flew unseen yet always watched, through the shadows of the woods, keeping vigil over their fragile world.